Hello and welcome to the Media News on Voice of the People Television. I am Promise. Before we begin the news, kindly visit our website on www.vop.ng for fresh and trending stories by the day. And for calling, we'll have the numbers 090-4473-2605. Now we'll begin with the headlines. Okonjo-Iweala wants African leaders to shun foreign aid. Talking terrorism, Ndume asks federal government to probe alleged research funding of Boko Haram. Still in insecurity, Borno missing children figures rises as Boko Haram intensifies recruitment. And federal government calls for human procedural process amidst the U.S. deportations. And talking about regulatory framework, lawmakers to push bill guiding police deployment to VIPs. Now to business, vandals stealing 155,000 barrels monthly, says upstream regulator. In the world of sports, Man United reportedly agrees payment for Osimhen amid Juventus bid. And in entertainment, Chimamanda Adichie confirms birth of twin boys and gives reason for secrecy. And now the news in details. Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has tasked African leaders to shift mindsets from reliance on foreign aid to driving investment and economic growth with local resources. The former Minister of Finance, who spoke on the sidelines of the African Union meeting in Ethiopia, stressed that the continent is blessed with vast, untapped financial and natural resources that could drive sustainable development. And therefore, she urged African leaders to consider foreign aid a thing of the past and focus on attracting investments and mobilizing domestic resources. Okonjo-Iweala noted that Africa holds approximately $250 billion in pension funds, adding, however, that much of it is invested outside the continent rather than being channeled into a local economies. And according to her, the biggest pension funds are in South Africa, followed by Nigeria, Kenya, Morocco, Botswana, and Namibia. And these resources are hugely significant, and African leaders need to find a way to tap into them. And this is according to her. She further called for the recapitalization of Africa's multilateral development banks, presently with a combined balance sheet of about $70 billion, to expand their balances sheet and increase funding for key projects. And away from that, the case of missing children in Borno State has sparked public outcry following a disturbance and a disturbing video of a young boy confessing to undergoing military training in a forest alongside dozens of other children. In the viral video at the weekend, a boy about 10 years old confessed to undergoing arms training alongside about 30 other yet-to-be-identified children in a forest near Ajiri in Mafa local government area of Borno State. The disclosure has raised concern about the rising cases of missing children in Borno being linked to Boko Haram recruitment efforts. Some residents who spoke with newsmen recounted the agony of their missing loved ones and expressed the fear that the rise in child disappearance cases in the state might be linked to insurgent recruitment efforts. And this development comes as they bring back our girls' movement renowned calls for the Nigerian government to release the funding of the fact-finding committee on the 2014 Chibok schoolgirls abduction. With 78 girls still unaccounted for over a decade later, the group urged transparency and accountability in the search of those still missing. In a related development, Senator Ali Ndume has asked the federal government to probe a claim by United States Congressman Scott Perry that the United States Agency for International Development funded terrorist organizations, including Boko Haram. The lawmaker representing Borno South Senatorial District said in a local television program that the disclosure was more than a mere allegation, and therefore he stressed the need for the presidency and the National Assembly to verify such weighty allegations. Ndume, who was the chairman of the Senate Committee on Army, said the development is worrisome, especially because of the terrorist organizations mentioned by Perry is Boko Haram, which has ravaged not only the northeast but also other parts of the country. According to him, the Nigerian security agencies have raised this suspicion indirectly several times, including the Nigerian Army Intelligence during Lieutenant General Tuko Buratai's tenure. The federal government has raised concerns over the deportations of Nigerians from the United States, calling on Washington to uphold international conventions for a dignified repatriation process. On his first day in office as the 47th President of the United States, Donald Trump signed several executive orders aimed at tightening immigration policies. They included ending birthright citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants and declaring a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border. Among others, he also reiterated his pledge to deport millions of undocumented immigrants. In a meeting with U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills, Jr., the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegwu stressed the emotional and financial toll these deportations are having on Nigerians in the United States and their families back home. Ojukwu, in a statement by her media aide, Magnus Eze, said with about 201 Nigerians currently detained in the U.S. immigration centers, about 85 cleared for deportation, the federal government was pushing for a more humane process. And for more effective and efficient policing, the House of Representatives is considering a bill to amend the Nigerian Police Act 2020 to regulate the deployment of police officers as orderlies to top government officials and prevent abuse of the practice. Sponsored by the lawmaker representing Ekpe Federal Constituency, Lagos, Wale Raji, the bill seeks to limit the duration officers can serve in such roles and ensure their reassignments to core police duties after a specified period. The bill proposes amendments to Section 18 of the Principal Act by introducing new subsections 12 to 16 that clearly define the officers entitled to police aids and the duration of such assignments. Now, the subsection 12 of the proposed amendment stipulates that only select public officials, including the President, the Vice President, the Senate President, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, shall be entitled to police orderlies as determined by the Inspector General of Police. Others are the Chief Justice of Nigeria, state governors, deputy governors, principal officers of the National and state assemblies, and the local government chairman. Away from that, the defense headquarters has urged Nigerians to disregard the malicious allegations on Canada visa denial and rather support the armed forces' efforts to enhance national security and promote personnel welfare. In a statement on Monday, the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tuko Gusau, faulted the allegations regarding Nigerian military's request for visa to attend the Invictus Games in Vancouver, Canada. Gusau explained that the Nigerian military received an invitation to participate in the Invictus Game with its team, which comprises 3 officers and 21 players, including the team's physiotherapists. According to him, the Invictus Games Foundation centers for the team's accommodation and feeding needs, along with those of other participating nations. However, he regretted that, in spite of the Army's best efforts, only 14 members of the team, excluding the team leader, captain, and physiotherapists, were granted visas. Notwithstanding the denial of visas to 7 of their athletes, he said the team's outstanding performance earned Nigeria gold, silver, and bronze medals, proudly placing it on the global map of the Invictus Games. Well, joining us this afternoon to analyze this on the midday news and more stories is Barrister Darlington Agomo. Good afternoon, Sam. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, Promise Child. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you too?
I'm okay. How was the weekend?
Very well. Wonderful. Thank you. Barrister, let's start with Canada denying Nigeria visa. You know, it went agog on social media. There was a buzz, vehemently angry and against this. In fact, to him, according to his words, he told Canada to go to hell. Do you have anything to react or chime into that, and we'll move on?
Yeah. What happened actually is the discretionary because a country deserves the right to choose who will come into their country or not. You don't force yourself into a country, it amounts to get crashing and all that. So,
But they were invited.
yeah, they were invited and they were specific on the people they invited and all that. And having met that requirement and then they have been granted visa. I don't know what other thing the 70 senior military officers are going to do there.
So you think it wasn't necessary?
Very, very unnecessary. And that is how the white man behave. All these extracts, all these unnecessary wastages are not, they don't do it over there. Because they would have become curious and say, these 70 other people, what are they going to do?
But does this have in any way have an inkling or anything to do with the rate of insecurity in Nigeria right now?
They may have something to say to that, but unfortunately, they are not talking. The Canadian embassy and ambassador, they are not talking. That's just the unfortunate aspect of it.
Back to their country. And Nigeria has up to 3,000 something, more than 3,000 something people on that list. Do you think US is going to listen to them? If you're an illegal immigrant, you think there is going to be any kind of way bending the rules just for Nigeria?
In fact, it's like a suspected armed robber telling everybody to treat him with respect and dignity. I mean, how can you be talking of a human right when you have violated a country's laws? I mean, it doesn't add up. The thing is that there won't be any exceptional treatment for Nigerians.
So far, about 210 Nigerians are currently detained now in the US.
They will be treated like any other person. That's
Okay.
just it. Yeah, they will be treated like any other person. So I don't see anybody giving anybody preferential treatment. For what? You are not the only Nigerian, so you came in illegally. So you have lost your rights for the country to respect and treat you with...
because you've stayed, some people may have overstayed their visas and were still in that country. So you didn't leave when your time was
and they
up and you
cannot
were
leave
supposed
because
to
if they leave, they cannot enter again. So that's it.
But is this peculiar with Nigerians now?
No,
in Africa?
it's all over the world, though. All over the world.
Mexico was top on the list, though.
Yeah.
All right, Barrister. Let's move over to one of the biggest stories over last week. You said alleged America, two former American presidents, Barack Obama and Biden, allegedly funding terrorism, not only in Africa, also in the Middle East. We have the Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, and all of that, through, you said, funding. Barrister, it was a major story, but the sad part for a lot of people, especially Africans, is the part that focuses on Barack Obama as a black man. And if this was anything to be true, you sat there as a president and watched your continent and some part of a continent got destroyed as a black man, a first black president of the United States. And I wonder why he hasn't made any statement so far to disregard this at least, or to even say, this is my stand, or this was what happened, or refute the claim right now. Nothing has ever come out from Obama's mouth.
Unfortunately, most Nigerians and Africans, you don't understand the United States and the love for their country.
How do you mean, sir?
No matter who you are, as long as you are the president of America, America comes first on your mind. Whether you are connected or linked to any other country is irrelevant.
So you took the oath of allegiance
yes,
to protect
yes.
America first.
Were you not surprised that it was Obama who hunted down
Osama bin Laden, and also Gaddafi?
I mean, in fact, that of Gaddafi, Obama said that he regretted bringing down Gaddafi because they didn't make plans for succession. And that was why Libya disintegrated and went into,
So they were just in a hurry to just bring
to
down
remove
Gaddafi.
the man, without making plans in place for somebody to take over and all that. So Obama said that was one of his regrets. As for destabilizing the whole world, they are very good at that.
The West.
They are very,
the world
and
leaders.
if they are interested, look, it's not all countries that they are doing all this, you know.
Okay.
They are doing it where they have interests.
And what is the interest in Africa now?
Yes, mineral resources of your country. They want to take, because they know when they come officially, you may not oblige them. So
it looks like, Barrister, it looks like everywhere there is crisis around the world, you look deep into that country,
yes.
they have a natural or something beautiful, a beautiful resources.
Yes.
So there has to be an interest.
Exactly. Of
so
course.
the thing is to stabilize this country. Is it to stabilize this country, put them in penury or in turmoil so that you be able to, you know, get whatever you want from them?
Yes.
Why does it have to be that way?
Because if you are in peace, you can make progress. But when there is crisis, it's impossible. And in that crisis now, foreign powers will come in the name of aid. Meanwhile, they are sucking your lifeline. That's what they do. It's
but
like,
Barrister, can America take 1%, accept 1% of this thing if this story goes by? Anyway, to be true.
When you are a weak country, you don't have a say in international fora. That is it. When you're a weak country, you are like a pariah state. The big boy, the big player will impose their will on you because you don't have a say. Now, with what has happened and what has been revealed, did you see Nigerian president talk? Did you see him react? He can't. He can't even utter a word. What will he say? When the thing is still happening today in our own country here, go to Borno, they are still mining our mineral resources.
Illegally.
The best of it in the whole world, our Californium. Our Californium is being mined.
And who are the people mining these resources?
Of course, the foreign powers.
In Nigeria. Is the federal government aware?
Chinese are there, US are there.
Is the federal government aware of this?
I said the federal government of here that review what is going on. Were you not here when Dela Alake told you that...
the Minister for Mines and Steel?
He told us that, yes, the people that are mining are powerful Nigerians. So they are all aware. With their foreign collaborators, they are aware. The foreigner cannot come in here and do what they do without internal collaboration. It's not possible.
But, but Africans cannot go to your country and do the same thing you're doing in an African soil.
You dare not. Who are you? You dare not. That's what I'm telling you, that when you're a weak government, can anybody go to China and do that with their population? Can you try it? You know you can't.
So Barrister, this brings me to, there was a video I watched, Sierra Leonean First Lady. She mentioned something. She was speaking as a citizen of Sierra Leone, that in Sierra Leone, they have natural resources. They are blessed with natural resources that can feed and equip every Sierra Leonean. But the thing now is, them and the government are not able to harness these resources. Because she called them the big brothers. And if you do not play the role, or if you do not tilt towards, you're not a stooge for these big brothers, they destabilize your country, cause a crisis and chaos, and turn your people against you and topple your government. She was talking about the foreign entities and the Western countries in Africa. So it looks like African leaders are helpless. But why would they be helpless?
Because most of them are even installed by these foreign powers. Can't you see?
So they are used as a stooge against their people. That's what you're saying,
Why do you think they are interested in your election? Why do you think so?
You mean EU and all of that?
Them. You said in particular. Why do you think they want to know who is coming into government? Whether you are ready to play ball. When they discover that, no, this one will not cooperate with us, they will never allow you to become the president of your own country. They will use all manner of propaganda against you. Is it not money? They have the money. They have already made it in your country. So, and they are not dictating who will lead and who will not lead. So when they play all this, you think that they came for peace or what? No, it's not. All these foreign observers,
during election,
you think they came here to waste money and time because they love you? No, they want to put their own man there.
So Barry, this thing you mentioned now just made me remember during 2023 election. I know the EU foreign observers at one point in one breath they are saying the elections were marred by a lot of irregularities. On another breath they are saying, look, there was nothing wrong with the election. The election was peaceful. So it looks like speaking from two sides of your mouth.
Yes, and in such a situation, you will even be confused where they stand. That will tell you that, yes, you know, they want to placate you by telling you it was mad. Then at another breath, they say, no, nothing wrong with the election. That's how they behave. So when you see them talking like that, don't take them serious. Unfortunately, it is only in Africa that these people come to observe elections and decide who will lead.
So do Africans, now you mentioned the barrister, do Africans observers go to these countries to know what is happening in their election? Let's say we'll have African observers go to US and observe US elections and know what is happening.
Well,
do they have such invitations?
Isn't that when you are invited? You can't go to any.
So why do we invite them? Why do Africans keep inviting foreign observers? Why do we need them?
It is the people that are contesting the election, of course. They want them to come and validate the rigging machinery they have deployed in the election. And so when foreign observer has said it's okay, what are you going to say again? Because that's the people that want to validate the election.
Isn't that a neo-colonialism mindset for us Africans?
They don't see it that way.
Are we even independent enough? So you know they said a lot of African countries we are independent. Are we truly independent as a continent?
We are not. Seriously.
We're not yet.
You have what Kojiwala said about aid.
You said being independent and looking away from USAID.
As long as you are borrowing money from them, you have become their stooge. That's the truth. So when they are telling you come and borrow money, we are ready. It's just to make you their servant. So
was that the reason why IMF, World Bank pushed then our president, President Tinubu, to take out subsidy? And after subsidy was taken out, they say, oh, Nigeria's economy is doing bad. In another breath, they say, oh, economy is doing wonderful. We don't even know our stance.
Then Tinubu now have to go for the same body to go and borrow money to cushion the effect of subsidy removal. Can you imagine the contradiction? So
it means there was no plan at all?
Nothing will come out of subsidy removal, nothing, no. They are still borrowing money. In fact, there are $300 million that they want to borrow again from World Bank for hospitals and
so the money we make from subsidy has it been accounted for, barrister?
Nobody, no, we don't know up to now.
Because they made us believe well, was it a facade or some kind of small screen? Because you said when subsidy is being taken out, we will have enough money to cater for other that will be put into different economic policies and region. Has that happened? And we do not know, nothing has been accounted for till now. We do not know XYZ amount that has been saved from subsidy removal and what it has been used for since then.
And nobody
it's more than a year.
And nobody will account for it. We don't even know the actual amount that we are talking about when you say subsidy removal. What is that particular amount that you are using to subsidize fuel for which you remove? We don't know. We don't know. This man just came in and pushed the thing up to 1,000 naira and say it's subsidy removal. So you mean the other government, they were subsidizing fuel by 1,000 naira? You know it's not possible. So Tinubu have made more money than all the past presidents put together.
Are you saying through subsidy?
We do subsidy, yes.
You think so?
Can't you see it? When PDP was there, we were buying fuel at 87 naira per litre.
And Jonathan wanted to remove subsidy and they occupied Nigeria. President Tinubu was among the people who occupied Nigeria and protested against subsidy removal.
And that was just 142 naira that Jonathan took it to when he removed subsidy. But this government now came and then, from 87 naira to 142 should be around 50 something naira, 57 or so. Now, when you now came in as APC, you now removed subsidy. The thing now jumped to 1,000 and you claim it was subsidy removal. So, where are we subsidizing with the 1,000 naira? If you check the difference, it's about 87. Okay, let me be generous, say 60 naira. So if you remove subsidy, the actual amount cannot be more than 200 naira if you add other variables. So that's what we should be buying fuel by now. But look at where it is.
So because IMF and World Bank asked you to remove subsidy, but we'll forget that in other parts of the world too, like America, they subsidize up to groceries, barrister. They subsidize foodstuff, food items for their people. They subsidize groceries. Well, but we don't have it here.
That will tell you where we are going. And they are telling you there will be paradise at the end of the day. And I don't see any. I don't see any at all. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Because things are getting worse by the day. This 2025 budget, they said because of this budget and what it portends, 13 million Nigerians are going into extreme poverty. So where is the paradise coming from?
So there is no El Dorado anywhere.
There is no tunnel.
There is no light at the end of the tunnel for us.
No tunnel, not to talk of light.
So because foreign bodies are telling you to do something, and you as a leader of a country, you just go ahead without watching or weighing the implications. So Barrister, this brings me back to what former President Goodluck Jonathan, you know, after his tenure, you know, the drama and everything that happened. And this has also linked, you said, do you understand, to bring back our girls? Because a lot of the Bring Back Our Girls conveners have been fingered to be funded by USAID, according to this U.S. congressman. So it looked like that was a ploy to take off Jonathan from seat, or to unseat him now, I'm going to say. Because he kept saying then that there was so much interference from the U.S. during his administration, and he didn't know why. And you remember before the election, the U.S. Secretary of State was in Nigeria without the information or without informing the federal government then.
He's thinking here to come and monitor things. In fact, Obama was so particular about removing Jonathan from office.
Why?
Because Jonathan refuses gay policy.
But they were kicking against insecurity. But Barrister, it doesn't make sense to a lot of Nigerians. I don't know if you can help us make sense with the fact that you kick against insecurity. You said you're helping us fight terrorism, but somehow you've been fingered to be the people sponsoring terrorism. Barrister, you remember during Jonathan's administration, the Nigerian government wanted to purchase, was looking for the help, or needed the help of the U.S. government to purchase some arms to fight and combat terrorism, but Obama did not approve that. They even had to, the Nigerian government even had to go through the black markets from South Africa to get weapons and arms. Was it because this allegation has any kind of inkling of truth in it? Was it why they refused to help us in purchasing arms then?
That is when they were working towards a goal. That is when they were working towards an answer. And so Jonathan knew, he said it himself, that there are Boko Haram in his government. So the man was very, very, aware of what was going on. That was why he quietly handed over, because
and considered
defeat. Because there was even an allegation that some people were already stationed in Ghana to strike.
Military base and men stationed to strike Nigeria. Yes, so you're saying Nigeria would have turned to DR Congo today?
Was it not predicted that it was to finish? Yes, that was the year that election was to be held. American, soothsayers, that is to work towards an already, goal, an already set goal. That was the year they believed Nigeria would disintegrate, because they have already planned that year Jonathan will not have handover and there are going to be crisis. Unfortunately, Jonathan shamed all of them by handing over quietly. Yes, he shamed all of them. But I thank God the truth is being revealed now. Is that not what we say here? That lies may run for too long, but one day truth will catch up with it. All the deceit, all the lies is beginning to come to light. That's why nothing can be hidden forever. Nothing. Nothing can be hidden forever. At any point in time, those secrets will be revealed by men. In fact, those who even who planned the secrecy and all that, they will be the one to reveal it when they got tired. So all the things they did against Jonathan is coming to light. Even APC people, they are coming to confess what they did to Jonathan.
Whom and whom in the APC confessing?
John Fayemi said it now. What's his name? Aerofy. And so many of their chieftains, they are telling you the whole world what they did to take over power from PDP and Jonathan. I mean, it's no longer hidden. What they are doing now is to apologize to Nigeria and what they did and all that. But that is past tense. That past tense. God is wonderful. He has a way of doing things. You see, God, don't joke with him. He has a way of destroying that thing that you think is your fortress. He will mess it up.
All right. Thank you so much. Perhaps a little wonder why former President Jonathan said then during that election that no blood of any Nigerian is what that seat at all.
Exactly. That the one. So the security report was on his table on what the people had planned. That's why he quietly hand over without even though he had the right to contest that election, but he refused. He refused because there was a lot of illegality just to remove him from office. But the man refused. Especially he should have contested that of Kano election and what happened there. But he let everything go and leave everything to God. And God, as usual, is fighting.
And you're saying the end has justified the means now so
yes.
far. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Barrister.
God has said the battle is won and vengeance belongs to him. Now, is APC finding it funny? No, from Buhari to Tinubu, are they happy? What they did in the past is haunting them now. That's the truth.
All right, thank you, Barrister Darlington. This is where we'll draw the curtain for the analysis segment, sadly. And Labour Party National Chairman insists on ticket zoning to the southeast. We'll bring you this and more after this short break. Stay tuned. Buri says he has no regrets zoning the party's presidential ticket again to the southeast ahead of the 2027 elections. Abure also said the party is still available to support Ndigbo to realize their ambition of ruling the country in future. He disputed this on Sunday, disclosed this right on Sunday at a rally organized by Labour Party members from the southeast ahead of the Abuja Area Council election slated for next year. While assuring the aspirants who came in their numbers that the party would not impose candidates on them, Abure taxed the zonal leaders on the need to realign with other sections of the country and prioritize unity if they hoped to win the presidential election come 2027. And still in politics, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has dismissed claims that its primary election guidelines were compromised by forgery. Clarifying the issue in a statement on Sunday, the PDP National Publicity Secretary, Debo Olugunagba, said the party was aware of the misleading media reports suggesting that its primary election guidelines had been compromised by forgery. Olugunagba further revealed that the misleading reports stemmed from certain individuals with resentments towards the party. And however, he identified the undisclosed individuals as agents of the All Progressive Congress, APC. He further alleged that their aim is to discredit the PDP's internal process and cause public ridicule. And in Osun State now, Governor Ademola Adeleke has petitioned President Bola Tinubu over an alleged plot by the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Boyega Oyetola, to create chaos and anarchy in the state. He urged Tinubu to insist on the rule of law by instructing the police and the DSS to shun any illegal order from his nephew, Oyetola, and also call the Osun State security chiefs to order. Adeleke told a news conference on Sunday that Oyetola had instructed the police and the Department of State Service to effect a non-existent judgment by forcefully taking over the local government today. According to him, the bone of contention is the attempt to return to office by a federal or a different inconsequential court decision, the council chairman sacked by a subsisting court judgment. He explained that the said council chairman were sacked by two judgments of the Federal High Court in Osogbo before he was sworn in as the governor, and contrary to the lies they have been executing. However, the State All Progressive Congress chapter spokesperson Kola Olabisi had denied that Oyetola issued any illegal directives to security agencies, accusing Adeleke of blackmail. He urged him to approach the Supreme Court instead. And from Osun State, we'll move to Akwa Ibom State, where the governor, Umoeno, has warned government appointees against indiscriminate issuance of press statements without clearance. The governor directed that henceforth all appointees must obtain clearance from the secretary to the state government before issuing any information to the press. Eno, who spoke during the Sunday service at the Uyo Archdeacon headquarters of the Methodist Church Nigeria in Itiam, Etoy, emphasized that only the Commissioner of the Information and the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor are authorized to issue statements on behalf of the state government. Away from that now, activist and lawyer Dele Farotimi has disclosed he was still facing 4 separate suits in different states filed by members of the Are Afe Babalola Law Office. Farotimi revealed this during a media chat on Sunday after the legal luminary and senior advocate of Nigeria, Afe Babalola, agreed on January 27 to withdraw the cases instituted against him, following Babalola's petition to the police commissioner in Ekiti State that Farotimi defamed him in a book titled Nigeria and Its Criminal Justice System. The police arrested the activist lawyer and arraigned him before 2 courts in Ekiti State. But Babalola had announced his withdrawal of the case against Farotimi, citing the intervention of the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye, and other top traditional rulers. However, Farotimi said that while the police is 4 civil suits against different states, all filed by members of the Babalola's office. Well, coming up is business and sports stories. Stay tuned. Welcome back. And now talking business, the Nigerian Upstream Regulatory Commission says the per day month in 2022. NUPRC further disclosed that the Nigerian equity market recorded a gain of 1.83 trillion naira last week as the all-share index and market capitalization appreciated by 2.78% to close at 67.4 trillion naira. A total turnover of 2.4 billion shares worth 55.5 billion naira in 80.988 deals was traded by investors on the floor of the exchange, compared to a 3.05 billion shares valued at 98.3 billion naira that exchanged hands in the previous week in 72,553 deals. The financial service in 39 billion naira traded in 31.919 deals and contributing a 59.92% and a 43.30% to the total equity turnover volume and value, respectively. This service industry followed with 247,303 million shares worth 1.1 billion naira in 6,277 deals. Talking sports, Premier League club Nottingham Forest have provided the latest update on the head injury the striker Taiwo Awoniyi suffered in an FA Cup tie. Awoniyi was left out of Saturday's 2-1 loss at Fulham due to concussion protocols. Forest boss Nuno Espirito Santo has now disclosed that the Super Eagles could return to action next Sunday at Newcastle United. Santo also said Awoniyi has been undergoing fittings for a face mask. Speaking via Nottingham Post, Santo said that Awoniyi would most likely be on a face mask when he returns from injury. And now talking entertainment, renowned Nigerian writer and literary icon Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie has revealed that she welcomed twin boys in 2024 but kept it private to protect her family's privacy. The celebrated author told a local newspaper that an intense public curiosity surmounts her life, personal losses, and the struggle of balancing motherhood with her creative work. Adichie, who is 47, known for bestsellers like Half of the Yellow Sun and Americana, explains she is careful about how much she reveals, especially when it comes to her children, saying she wants to protect them. And still talking entertainment, Nigerian singer Temilade Okpeniyi, popularly known as Tems, has made history as the first African female artist to surpass 1 billion streams on Spotify. She achieved